Alright, so now we're on to the next section, which is to identify the independent and dependent quantities in each problem situation. Then, write a function to represent the problem situation. So we have here that Maria is working on her math assignment after school. She completes 3 problems every minute. So remember in the beginning of this school year when we were talking about finding our dependent and independent quantities, I told you guys to look for the number and next to the number would be the units that help us find our independent and dependent quantities. So I see the number 3, and it's 3 what? It's 3 problems every minute. So every single time you have these units like this, they can help you recognize which is the dependent and independent quantity because they can be put in this format. Dependent per independent. So if we have problems every minute, this is the same thing as problems, sorry, that says problems per minute. Okay, and so from here, you can find out what your independent and dependent quantities are. Let's start off with the first word, which is dependent. So what happens before the word per is problems. So problems is our dependent quantity. Let's take a look at the second word. So the second word is independent, and in our example, we have minutes. So minutes are going to be our independent quantity. Okay? And finally, we can write a function for this. So our most basic functions are written with f of x. F standing for function, that's why we use f, and then x just being our most basic unknown. However, you can use any letters you want. So for me, I'm going to write P for problems per minute. So P of M. P of M. So the problems that Maria does is going to be equal to 3 multiplied to the number of minutes. So I'm going to write this as P of M is equal to 3 times M. So this means that the problem she does is equal to 3 multiplied to the minutes. Because every single minute she does 3 problems, because she does 3 problems every minute. So that's based on this information right here. So problems is equal to 3 times minutes. And so our function is P of M is equal to 3 times M. All right, let's go on to number 6. So the number 6 says the math club sells protractors as a fundraiser. Each protractor costs $2. So over here, I see the number 2, and it's $2. So it's $2. And what does this $2 buy? It buys us a protractor. So I'm going to rewrite this as a something per something statement. So $2 per protractor. And so this tells me that the first word, which is going to be the dependent quantity, the first word is dollars. So dollars is dependent. And the second word is going to represent our independent quantity. And the second word is protractor. Okay, and so then when we're writing our function, I'm going to write dollars per protractor. So D depends on P. The dollars depends on the protractor. This is going to be equal to, well, each protractor costs $2. So 2 multiplied by P. Oops. There we go. 2 multiplied by P. And so what this function says is that the dollars that she's going to spend is equal to 2 multiplied by the number of protractors that she buys. So when you write your function, you can use any letters that you like. I just chose to use letters that represent our independent and dependent quantities. I think it makes it easier, but you could have used f of x. If you want to use f of x, number 5 would have looked like this. F of x is equal to 3x. And number 6 would have looked like this. F of x is equal to 2x, where x is your independent quantity. Okay, actually I'm going to highlight that in the same color as the independent quantity so you know. X is the independent quantity, and so P is our independent quantity here. M is our independent quantity here. Okay, and then similarly, let me highlight the dependent quantity. There we go. All right, so this is how you would write our functions for these types of problems. So for the rest of this worksheet, you guys have the skills practice, which is available to you in the textbook that you guys got in the beginning of the year. I know we haven't touched it yet, but if you have it, you can pull it out and work on these pages, okay? Right over here. These are the pages that we are working for. Now, if you don't have a textbook, you can also use these screenshots over here to follow along, write it on a separate piece of paper like you have been. If you do have your textbook, those are the pages. You can match it up with the screenshots that are over here. And then if you like, you can also turn it in through Kami. So your task is to finish the rest of this assignment on this. Okay? Let me know if